Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan at ito nga mga karibin natin, finish ka na, matibag, aba, nabahag ang buntot. Ayan, Senator Pia Sinabon na si Luestro, ha? Gawin nyo trabaho nyo. Tiklop si matibag kay Senator Cayetano. Ayan mga kababayan, patungkol po riyan ang ating alamin at bibigyan ng reaksyon sa video ito. Pero bago po ang lahat mga kababayan, palike naman po ng video ito. Malaking tulong po yan. Maraming salamat po. At eto nga mga kababayan, bago po natin i-play yung video, eto mga karibin natin, no? Eto, pasadahan po muna natin itong mga sinabi ni Director Matibag kahapon. Yung kanyang mga sagot mga kababayan na talagang masasabi mong panalo. Panalo ang depensa. O eto po mga kababayan, sabi po ni Attorney Mark Bintulan, you are a lawyer, correct? Tinanong niya po si Matibag. Sabi po ni Matibag, tama po. 29 years, 29 years pa siya po siyang lawyer, parang si Soto lang, 29 years na lawmaker. Ayan Sabi po dito ni Attorney Mark, eto dito nasa pala si Soto. Can you recall Rule 130 Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence? Sabi po ni Matibag, can you refresh me, sir? Aray ko. 29 years of being a lawyer. Hindi alam ang rule. Ang Rule 130 Section 22 ng Rules of Evidence mga kababayan. Ano pala ito? Diba? Puro pang aresto lang ang ginagawa mo, hindi mo alam yung rules of evidence mga kababayan, diba? Inaresto nila si diba? Puro lang pangkakaso ang ginagawa ni Matibag pero hindi pala alam ang rules of evidence. 29 years mga kababayan, gusto pang ipaalala sa kanya kung ano ang rules Rule 130 Section 22 ng Rules of Evidence. Nakakahiya naman itong si Matibag mga kababayan. Diba? Kaya nga hindi mapigilan ng ating mga kababayan, no, na mapakomment dito kay Matibag. Sabi po dito, parang si school bukol lang. 29 years, wala pa rin alam sa batas. Ha. Yan, sabi po ni Kulas. Sabi naman po dito ni Roy, abogado ka pala. Basic study about law, di alam, ugok. Ayan mga kababayan. Alam lang kasi nito, no, ang mga aresto, mga kaso ng kung ano-ano sa mga kontra sa administrasyon mga kababayan. Pasabog daw, sabi ng prosecution. Hindi kaya ang ibig sabihin nila ay sabog? Diyos may, ayan, sabi po ni Lyra mga kababayan. Sabi po dito ni Linam, isa lang ibig sabihin yan, scripted lahat ng kanilang evidence kasi balibaliktarin mo man ang taong kung alam mo talaga at nakita mo o na-witness mo ang isang pangyayari, hindi ka magkakamali sa iyong sagot. Hindi mo kailangan ng kodigo para sumagot sa tanong, correct mga kabayan. Kaya pala bindalo na si Direktora, di na pala updated ang utak. Ayan, 29 years na lawyer, 29 years na marites. Ayan mga kabayan. So, pero parehas po yung mga comments, no? At yan nga, hindi natutuwa ang ating mga kabayan sapagkat 29 years po siyang abogado pero hindi po alam yung mga rules mga kabayan. So, aresto lang ito ng aresto. Nako po. Bukod dyan mga karibin natin, ito, sabi po dito, no, ni Luestro, ano ang pagkakakilanlan ng mga persons of interest sa pagbabanta, no, ni BP Sara na tinutukoy mo? Sabi po dito, sabi ni Matibag, confidential or top secret Hindi po ito pwedeng ibahagi basta-basta sa publiko. Kita nyo na yan mga kabayan. Mayroon din palang piatos itong si Director Matibag, di ba? Ang ginamit po ba dyan na pambayad, pampasweldo dyan sa confidential or top secret ninyo? Galing po sa confidential fund? Baka pwedeng imbestigahan yan mga kababayan. Di ba? yung confidential informant ni Matibag, no? Pagdating kay BP Sara, yung piatos na sinasabi ninyo, na alam niyo naman na confidential 'yon, 'di ba? Always true, 'di ba? Palagi yung binibira si BP Sara patungkol diyan sa confidential na 'yan. Confidential informant na si Mary Grace Piatos. Eto, mag-Mary Grace Piatos din si Matibag. Baka hindi Mary Grace Piatos, no? Baka kamote, no? Kung ano-ano mga code name na 'yan, no? Pwede bang imbestigahan yan din si Matibag? Ba? 'Di ba? Kung saan-saan ninyo nakukuha yung mga, hindi porket kayo ay NBI, 'di ba? Pwede na kayong kung saan-saan na lang kumuha ng mga impormasyon, 'di ba? Kailangan credible. Kasi tinatanong niyo nga si BP Sara kung yun sa kanyang confidential informant na si Mary Grace Piatos. Ngayon ang pagkakataon, mga kababayan, dapat pong tanungin itong si Matibag patungkol dyan sa confidential informant or top secret nilang, biruin mo, galing mismo sa kanya, hindi po ito pwedeng ibahagi basta-basta sa publiko. Sabi po ng ating mga kababayan, top secret kasi wala. Kunwari meron person of interest, ang totoo, wala naman, gawa-gawa lang para may masabi na nag-practice pa na sa OJT, aray ko. Ha? Pinapagawa pa sa rekto ni Matibag ang suspect. The considered threat was made through media but justification is a top secret. Nako. Ba't kat pa tumistigo? Malabo yan, chip. Ayan, na-order pa sa Lazada. Anyway, mga kababayan, what we are trying to point out dito, mga kababayan, wag naman sila maging selective, no? Pagdating kay BP Sara, pag sinabi mong confidential, kailangan ilatag. Pagdating kay Matibag, pag sinabing confidential, okay lang, okay, relax, di ba? Maging ano naman kayo, maging patas naman kayo minsan, alright? Ano pong masasabi niyo dyan, mga kababayan? Just comment down below. At eto, mga karibin natin, pasadahan na po natin yung video. Pasok.
Na umaasa sa mga survey, a survey is just a snapshot of what's happening. It doesn't necessarily follow na pagka yun ang lumabas, ay yun na yung totoo. Pangalawa, pagka po ating pinagbasihan ng popularidad, ang ibig sabihin po ba nito, ang isang pinakakilala at popular na tao pwede nang gumawa ng krimen at hindi natin papapanagutin?
Your Honor, at this point, Your Honor, the defense is constrained to ask for a continuance, and we have our grounds therefore. Number one, Your Honor, the testimony of Director Matibag earlier consisted of a lot of new topics, and it is, we believe that it is the right of the respondent to intelligently cross-examine him on those topics. Again, Your Honor, those topics are not included in the articles of impeachment and are considered new. In fact, Your Honor, as earlier stated, we feel that these two topics are a violation of the respondent's right to be promptly and fully apprised of the exact charges against her. So we will need time, Your Honor, to go through those new materials in new points. Secondly, Your Honor, during direct examination, a document, a 100-page document was introduced and allowed by this court, and that document is unsigned and unnotarized. And we feel like for us to intelligently cross-examine the witness on this document that he mentioned, we need that there's a need, we feel that there's a need for a continuance, Your Honor.
What does the lead prosecutor say? With all due respect, Your Honor, we object to the motion for continuance of the defense. The defense already started and propounded a lot of cross-examination questions to the witness, and the witness is simply answering completely, accurately, the questions which are being raised and propounded to him. We do not understand, Your Honor, why they will move for continuance after already raising a lot of questions to the witness, Your Honor. We would like, Your Honor, the defense to finish the cross-examination today. And if the impeachment court will still allow, we will immediately proceed to redirect after the cross-examination, Your Honor. With all due respect to our honorable senator judges.
The objection of the lead prosecutor is noted. However, this is the first time that any counsel for the parties is asking for a continuance. The chair is inclined to grant it and will so grant it as well. Should the counsel for the prosecutors or the lead prosecutor or panel of prosecutors require it at some point in time in this trial or hearing. But let it not be the rule or let it not be a habit on the part of either counsel for the parties to do so, to ask for a continuance. But at this time, the chair will grant the continuance requested by the defense. And in the meantime, since it's only 5:55, with the indulgence of our senator judges, we may proceed to the interjections and interventions of the senator judges.
One last point, Your Honor, before the interjections.
Before recognizing the senator judges, yes, what is the pleasure of Attorney Binlon?
Your Honor, considering that the witness introduced, as I said, a lengthy document, can we ask for a copy of the Las Cañas material that he
The
provided?
chair already earlier ordered that, I believe. During the interregnum, the prosecutors are directed to kindly furnish the counsel for respondents with a copy of the, I believe, over an inch or little less than 2 inches of affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. So ordered. Chair will now recognize, prior to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo earlier, Senator Judge Villanueva indicated his desire to interject or make interventions. Thereafter, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Thereafter, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros. You have 2 minutes, sir, and you may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Presiding Officer, before I ask some questions, I can see that my time is already running. Let me just ask a procedural inquiry, Mr. Presiding Officer. And respectfully, this representation seek the guidance of the court on a procedural matter. Because earlier today, I heard our witness who made mention several times that the investigation is still ongoing. It's a continuing investigation. May we know, Mr. Presiding Officer, in this particular aspect of the NBI's investigation that remains ongoing, just for the guidance of this representation, and I'm sure for the guidance of both parties, kung matatapos na po yung investigasyon o yung presentation of evidence dito po sa Article 4 at magkakaroon po ng significant development na maaari pong material sa atin pong proceedings, ano po ang tamang proseso para maipabatid at kung kinakailangan maiharap po ito sa impeachment court, considering na isasara na po itong presentation of evidence sa Article 4.
Senator Judge Villanueva, sa rule, the court is a passive body. Hindi panghihimasukan ng husgado kung ano man ang pwede, balak o gustong gawin ng magkabilang partido, prosecution man o sa hanay ng respondent, kung mangyari man yun. And the court will not speculate with respect to that hypothetical situation should it arise, lest we be accused of prejudging or deciding certain matters for the parties that they should be the one deciding should that happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. And in fact, I would suggest na kung maaari ay i-consider, because we feel that the suppletory application of the revised rules of court under Rule 6 most directly po doon sa Section 24, Rule 119 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure provides, and I quote, "At any time before finality of the judgment of conviction, the judge may motu proprio or upon motion with hearing in either case reopen the proceedings to avoid a miscarriage of justice. Close quote. So just to put on record, Mr. Presiding Officer, na ito po yung magiging proper procedure. Marami pong salamat.
That is an option that the court may take, as the rule itself suggests. But at this juncture, the presiding officer would rather leave it to the parties, given that this is an adversarial proceeding, and the parties should know what they should do for the interest of their respective clients. You may proceed, sir, with your questions. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. President. Just one question to our witness, Director Matibag, for the benefit of the court and this representation. Maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag kung paano ini-evaluate po ng National Bureau of Investigation ang isang aligasyon na ang isang tao ay nag-utos o kumontrata ng iba upang magsagawa ng isang krimen? Bilang bahagi po ng inyong investigasyon, tinukoy po ba ninyo kung ang ganito pong aligasyon ay maaaring pumasok sa mga umiiral na probisyon ng ating revised penal code o iba pang special penal laws? Director Matibag, I'd like to ask this question because I believe, I don't know if you would agree with me, that the Bureau's role is to determine whether the facts may actually give or the facts may give rise to a criminal liability under our penal laws. Now, the constitutional function of this court, however, is different. We are not sitting as a criminal court to determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Rather, we are called upon to determine whether the respondents' alleged acts constitute impeachable offenses, including betrayal of public trust. So magkaiba po yung binabanggit natin na criminal liability at constitutional accountability. Hindi po lahat ng maaaring maging batayan ng impeachment ay kailangan tumutumbas sa isang krimen, sapagkat ang impeachment ay hindi naman po usapin lamang ng paglabag sa batas, kundi hindi paglabag sa tiwalang ipinagkakaloob ng taong bayan. Ano pong masasabi niyo dito, Mr. Witness?
Your Honor, tama po yun. Doon po sa uling sinabi ninyo na hindi naman nangangahulugan no, kung may krimen na nangyari, ito ay impeachable offense. Pero ilagay po natin sa pangyayaring to, kaya naman po, yung pong investigasyon doon sa grave threat at doon po sa inciting to sedition, malinaw po ito na napapaloob sa revised penal code. Yun naman po pag-iimbestiga at paghahanap doon sa taong kinausap para pumatay, hindi po ito napapaloob sa revised penal code dahil yung pong pagpaplano ng pagpatay, hindi naman po pinaparusahan yan kung hindi nga nagawa. Subalit doon na po papasok yung sinasabi nga natin na meron pong sinasabi na sa impeachment, tinitingnan po at para sa akin nga, yung betrayal of public trust, dito po papasok. Bakit po? Dahil meron po siyang sinumpang tungkulin. Doon po mismo sa kanyang oath of office bilang Vice President. Sinabi niya that protect and defend the Constitution, execute the laws, do justice to everyone, and consecrate herself to the
Binabalahura na nga ang bansa natin, mga kababayan. Protect the Constitution. Prinoprotektahan talaga ang bansa, mga kababayan. No? Binabalahura na po ang ating bayan, mga karibyo natin, na mga hinayupak na nasa gobyerno ngayon. Talagang hindi na ito matitiis ng kung sino man, mga kababayan. Kahit hindi lang po si BP Sara, siguro, mga karibyo natin, no? Kung pwede nga lang sumigaw ang taong bayan. Actually, sumisigaw na nga, nagbibingi-bingihan lang ang gobyerno ito.
To protect the nation. Pero doon po sinabing execute the laws. Dito po natin nakikita, hindi po execute the laws yung pag-usap ng papatay. That is to execute the president. Kaya doon po papasok yung magkaiba na betrayal of public trust.
Naintindihan ko po yung binabanggit nyo, yung role ninyo na limitado doon sa criminal investigation at yung findings po ninyo hindi po, again, I think binabanggit nyo nga po, hindi po ibig sabihin ay impeachable offense kaagad-agad.
Tama po.
And again, that's why I'm putting into the records na this is not a criminal proceeding, but an impeachment na proceeding. Last but not the least, no, dun sa binanggit po ninyo, there is a difference between saying that an individual has not yet been identified and saying also that no such individual exists. So, ang una, nangangahulugan na
Mayroon.
nagpapatuloy pa po yung Bureau sa pagberipika at pagbavalidate ng impormasyong mayroon ito. Sa ikalawa naman po ay isang konklusyon na matapos ang isang investigasyon. Director Matibag, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag yung kahalagahan ng distinction na ito sa point of view of the NBI sa inyong pag-iimbestiga?
Doon na po natin dihiwalay.
Before the witness answers, kindly wind up after
Yes.
that question, Senator Judge Joel. Witness may answer?
Yes.
Doon nga po natin inihiwalay yung investigasyon na nangyari doon sa grave threat at inciting to sedition. Pumasok na po tayo doon sa pag-iimbestiga kung saan hinahanap natin yung kinausap. At bakit po tayo naniniwala na may kinausap? Sapagkat doon sa pronouncement po mismo ng Vice Presidente na may kinausap siya at pumayag. Ang naging basehan nga po dito, yung aking pong testimonya kanina na yung 5-point field po na pinagbabasihan ng National Threat Assessment Center na ginagamit po ng Secret Service po ng Amerika.
Okay po. Siguro hilingin ko na lang, Mr. Presiding Officer, at sa ating witness, kung matapos po yung inyong ongoing at sinasabi niyo nga pong continuing investigation, ay ma-inform lang din po ang korting ito. Maraming salamat, Your Honors, Mr. Presiding.
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi is recognized for his interjections and
Ongoing po.
interventions.
Ongoing
You have 2
investigation
minutes,
pa
sir, for
pala
your
ito, mga
questions.
kabayan.
You may
Nako po.
proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Witness, are you familiar with the case of Ronel Mas?
Opo, napanood ko po yan.
At that time, hindi pa kayong NBA director or not connected to NBA whatsoever. So, tell us briefly dito sa kaso ni Ronel Mas.
Sa pagkaalala ko po rito, itong si Ronel Mas ay isang guro na kung saan siya ay nagsabi na kung sino ang papatay sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ay papabiyaan niya ng 50 million. At sa pagkakaalala ko po, ang National Bureau of Investigation rin po ang tumugis at tumuli sa kanya, particularly po ang aming pong opisina sa Region 1. At siya po ay kinasuhan po ng pagbabanta at itinuring po na ang threat niya ay isang malaking threat po. Hindi lamang sa dating Pangulo, kundi po sa ating pong national security.
In other words, tinali siya ng case ng inciting to sedition. And he was arrested warrantless. It was a warrantless arrest, right?
Tama po.
Okay, so isang guro nagbanta sa dating Pangulo, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warrant. Now, itong yung VP Sara, si Vice President Sara Duterte, na nagbanta rin kay Pangulong Duterte at kay Pangulong Marcos. Anong difference ng dalawa?
Well, ang pagkakaiba po nila, itong si Rene sa isang guro, si Vice President, isa naman pong Vice President, at siguro po ito ang naging konsiderasyon kung bakit hindi siya inaresto agad.
So, ibig sabihin ng NBI pala ay tumitingin sa tinatawag na special treatment.
I cannot
So, ibig sabihin hindi pala patas sa NBI. Bakit nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte, isang guro na nagsabi may patong sa ulo ng 50 million si dating Pangulong Duterte kung sino man makapagpapatay sa
Arestuhin niyo na.
agad-agad inaresto na walang warrant of arrest.
Arrestin niyo si VP Sara na magkagulo.
VP Sara, nasabi niyo, allegedly nagbigay ng death threat against President Marcos at hindi inaresto.
I cannot speak for the NBI at that time, Your Honor, sapagkat yung mga pangyayari pong yan, wala naman ako sa NBI pa po. Subalit, ang maaari ko pong ibahagi sa inyo, ipamarapatin po ninyo, yun na nga pong aking pakikipagtalastasan sa aming pong mga foreign counterparts na akin din na pag-aralan at sinasabi nila na sa kanilang jurisdiction, kung mayroong isang pagbabanta na ginawa ng Vice Presidente, ay maaaring agad na ikulong at matanggal kaagad po sa pwesto. Pero again, respectfully, I cannot speak for the NBI noon po at saka yung pangyayari po doon po.
Okay, ano ibig sabihin po ni para sa inyo, Mayor Baste, nung sinabi niya sa isang Rage Coalition gathering, isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin at ang ulo ni BBM or Bongbong Marcos. What does it mean to you?
Well, kagaya po ng aking naging testimonya,
Mabobo.
itrinato po namin ito na isang threat sa isang banta sa ating Pangulo that transcends also to a threat to our national security.
So is it the same as saying may patong sa ulang isang tao like a reward, whoever can capture this person, dead or alive or something to that effect?
It could be that way or it can be in many ways, pero ang sa amin po, ang namin naging interpretasyon nga dyan, isinama po namin ito sa maraming banta sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo at sa seguridad po ng ating.
So again, kung tinuturing yung threat itong salita na binitiwan ni Baste or Mayor Baste Duterte against President Bongbong Marcos, anong difference niyan dun sa binigay naman na threat ni yung teacher na si Ronel Mas kay dating Pangulong Duterte?
Yung pong naging banta ni Mayor Basti Duterte ay pinasok po natin sa mas maaba pang pagsusuri, kaya po isinama natin ito po doon sa ating continuing threat assessment po.
So why was he not arrested? Tulad na nangyari sa teacher na si Ronel Mas.
Ang warrantless arrest po kasi, kagaya na nangyari kay Ronel Mas dahil naging warrantless of arrest, siya po ay na-dismiss ang kaso. So yun din po yung iniingatan namin na kung kami ay gagawa ng warrantless arrest, ay maaari pong ma-dismiss ang kaso. Ngayon po, kasama po yan sa case build-up namin na maaaring magdulot po ng pagpapail po ng nararapat po na kaso.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Rizon Tevera.
The testimony is to present what transpired during the investigation of the Special Task Force. As to whether or not what probative value it holds, it is not part actually of the decision of the prosecution, as what we are intending to do here is to present only what happened during the investigation of the NBI, Your Honor.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the rules of evidence are very clear. You either present a witness who provides your testimony or you present a document. And in terms of documents, Rule 132, Section 19 says there are two classes of documents, public documents and private documents. Included in public documents are documents acknowledged before a notary public. Yung pinakitang document is not acknowledged by a notary public. Pwede naman din ang private documents, that's the other class. If it can be shown and authenticated in any of the following manner. The person saw the document executed or written. Nakita ba ng witness mo na sinulat yon? Nakita ba niya?
Your Honor, we can...
No, please answer my question.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, the next manner of authenticating by evidence of the genuineness of the signature or handwriting of the maker. The defense said ni walang original signature doon. Do you disagree with that?
We don't, Your Honor.
Okay, and the third, by other evidence showing its due execution and authenticity, did you provide?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so simple lang, Mr. Presiding Officer. They're trying to prove something by showing a document that any law student, even yung mga kababayan natin na nakikinig na ngayon na ang dami ng alam sa procedure, will tell you na hindi acceptable yon. And with all due respect, katulad din nung kahapon na humingi ako ng payo sa inyo, again, I will not name names, we had a discussion in caucus na you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unhear what you hear. So pinalabas yun. Wala akong problema na palabasin yun, pero do your job and present the proper witness and the proper documentation to do that. Do your job. I'm addressing this, Mr. Presiding Officer, to us as a body. Kasi hindi tama yun. Magdidesisyon tayo, you warn us, pero pinabayaan natin na makita yun. Minamarkahan pa, submarkings. What's the purpose of all that?
May I respond, Your Honor?
Not really.
I don't believe
Because
there
I
was a
already
question.
answered, I already asked you the questions and you had a chance to respond. Yes. I
There
did
was
it
no
before.
question posed, or I was
There's none, yes.
telling the lead prosecutor.
I move to my next point, Mr. Presiding Officer. Our jurisprudence is very clear, no? A witness must be competent and credible. Di ko nababasahin lahat yung jurisprudence natin dyan dahil kompleto na yung record natin dyan. But there is also a also included in our rules, Rule 132 on the rules of evidence, and I'll read it. A witness may be impeached by the party against whom he or she was called by contradictory evidence, by evidence that his or her general reputation for truth, honesty, or integrity is bad, or by evidence that he or she has made at other times statements inconsistent with his or her present testimony. So this is the rules, no? Siguro we can, well, I'm reading the rules, so we can take notice of this, that this is what our rules say, and I don't think anyone will contradict that. Again, there are lots of cases supporting this. So, just want to point out, Mr. President, that, just looking for my notes. Sorry, with the indulgences of the body, I'm just looking for my notes because I want to be accurate in my the next statement that I'm going to read into the record.
If the lady cannot locate it, she may avail of her time again tomorrow, since Director Matibag and the counsel for the parties will be
Pwede
here
naman,
tomorrow.
but if you give me a few more seconds, I might be able to dispose of this issue, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Ms. Marivic Pareja of Legislative Archive, we manifested yesterday, Your Honor, that we have yet to determine when we will be presenting this witness.
Yes, we will act on these at the proper time. This will be part of the chair's ruling before we adjourn.
May I inquire, Your Honor, if tomorrow we will be able to conclude the testimony of witness Director Matibag, whether or not we will be proceeding to present the first witness for confidential fund, Your Honor.
The court will address that in a bit before we adjourn, counsel. Any other points, counsel for the respondent?
No more, Your Honor.
Court will now dispose of some administrative matters.
So yan mga kabayan, ano po ang inyong reaksyon, opinion patungkol po dyan mga karabi natin? Just comment down below. Maraming salamat po.